Hi there, this is Charlie Destries, and it's a beautiful Thursday, the 19th of March, and here we are approaching the spring in Buffalo, New York, which is always a wonderful thing. But listen, I'm sitting next to you at a bar, and you're a salesperson in a territory, and you're having a tough time. It's near the end of the first quarter. The economy is, the economy is in trouble in different sectors. In some sectors more than others. You're starting to see a little pushback, especially if you're in capital equipment sales, in terms of companies actually, laying out $100,000 or $500,000 or $50,000 for a piece of equipment, and your boss is on your back. Your company is probably thinking about right-sizing a bit, cutting back on expenses, and maybe even focusing their distribution channels a bit more, and so you're a little bit nervous. But there are a couple of things you can do that can really turn things around for you. First of all, turn off the television, stop reading the newspaper, stop thinking that everything is negative. Stop believing that every company is going to say no, because it's just not the case. They might as well just shut their doors if that was it. And stop thinking that your job is suddenly in jeopardy. You know what? It may very well be that it is, but I'm not sure what you can do about it. If you're going to do a great job or a poor job and the job goes away anyway, do the best you can. So, there's another side to that as well that I'll talk to in a moment. So let's assume that you've got some runway. You're way behind on your first quarter numbers for whatever reason. Maybe you pulled everything in the fourth quarter of last year and there wasn't much left. And so you're building right now. But you've got to have a decent second quarter, so what do? Well, if I were you, I'd refocus. And, before when I said turn off the TV, what that does is it gives you more energy applied towards creative thinking towards your territory. So instead of worrying whether Biogen is not, maybe you read something that Biogen is laying off, 100 people next week or in the next month. And automatically your thinking goes, well, that must mean that the thing I have on the forecast is probably frozen. They've frozen capital expenditures. And that's why it doesn't close. And that's why when I call that scientist, he's not returning my call. Well, it's possible that scientist is worried about their job, and maybe they're not totally focused on buying equipment either. But you know what? You have to be the one that essentially goes in there and realizes that you're not selling it to a scientist, you're selling it to a company, a group of people who are planning to use it, whether that scientist is there or not. So really, it's all about attitude, and it starts with you, no one else. It really doesn't start with anyone else but you. Your mind is the only thing you can control. Can't control anything else. If you believe anything else, you're dead in the water. Trust me. So, step one, your attitude. You checked it at the door. You're positive. You're basically convinced, A, there's a market. And by the way, look, I imagine you have competitors. Typically, you're going to have in a territory, let's say you sell in the Midwest, something similar. Let's say there are half a dozen companies. You're going to have a half a dozen people out there selling, relatively same kind of product that you're selling. So what do you think? What if most of those people were watching TV and believing everything they read and believing everything they saw and heard? Well, you have an advantage, a competitive advantage. Your brain says, no, bullshit, I'm not going to believe all that. I'm going to go out positive, and I'm going to find the opportunities. You're going to out-hustle them. Why? You have more energy. It's huge. I'm telling you right now, the brain part of this thing is huge. I'm not talking about any fancy, mental positive attitude stuff or anything like that. It's very simple. You're convinced there's a market. It may be a little smaller, but you're going to get it. If there are 6 people out there selling similar products, you're going to be the one that gets the bulk of it. Why? You're out hustling them. There's nothing like good attitude, out hustling, that takes care of about 3/4 of the work. You're showing up. Now, what if your product is reasonable? It doesn't have to be the best. Maybe it's not the worst. It's a reasonable product. If you out-hustle people and you show up and you do things very creatively, you're going to win most of the time because they're going to want to buy from somebody who has a positive attitude. What if you came in all down and droopy? They're going to wonder if your company's going to go out of business or if you're going to get laid off. They're going to want to do business with you? No. So that's huge. Secondly, use technology. I'm involved in 2 technologies that you really should consider. One is called send out cards. I won't get into it in a big way, but it's basically sending a card in the mail. Sounds boring, doesn't it? But how many people do that? None. So right away, you're positive. You're out hustling everybody. Your attitude is positive. You're sending people a card in the mail. Number 2, use technology. Well, what about my video email company called Talk Fusion? You're suddenly sending a video email to someone like this YouTube video, but it's personal, it's private, it's secure. So now they're receiving a video of you saying, hey, I'm coming next Tuesday, thanks so much. So get used to using webinar technology. And if your company doesn't pay for the expenses, pay for it out of your pocket. Stop getting stuck with the fact that, the mothership pays for everything. No, invest in your own business. That's what it is. Now, why am I telling you all this? Well, A, it's going to probably put you into better money because you're selling more products. There's a better chance you're going to keep your job because you're going to make more sales. And you're going to be using two technologies that also have a sideline business attached to them, a money opportunity. Send out cards and Talk Fusion. So now you're not only using technology smart, you're not only changing your attitude to a positive and out hustling everybody, but you're also creating a plan B in case, out of your control, you happen to lose that job. Create a side income. Don't be stupid. Don't depend entirely on the mothership, otherwise you may be surprised, like millions of other people are, especially if you have any gray hair. Trust me on this. So, do what I'm telling you to do. It's the only way to go. If you go negative on yourself and you don't charge out the gate and out hustle everybody, you're digging your own grave in this economy. It's just the way it goes. And if that's the case and you want to go there, definitely plan B. Definitely develop a sideline business. Either way, it's the best thing you could possibly do. So this is Charlie Destries. Have a great biotech day, and I'll talk to you real soon, hopefully. Take care. Love the weather. Bye now.